live.
Oh, well, wonderful. Hello then. Perfecto. Hey guys, it's Danny and I am here with Rebekah Boruki. I'm going to give you a little intro. I kind of want to wait. Let me just see my comments. Okay. As you guys pop on, just say hello so that I know you're there. But in the meantime, I am going to start to give a little intro and let you know what we're going to be doing today. So normally we cook here, but today we're going to be chatting with Rebekah Boruki. So I'm going to read you guys, Bex, we're going to call you Bex, right?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. She's the founder of BexLife and the Blessed in Wellness movement. She's the mother of 5, TV host, meditation guide, author, speaker, birth doula. I had 2 babies at home, so I got mad love for the birth doulas.
Awesome.
Fitness, yoga instructor, and popular social media personality. She also travels extensively, sharing her love for yoga, wellness, and meditation at exclusive workshops, luxury retreats, and public events. And the reason I was so excited to have her here today, and I really wanted to share her work with you guys, is because one, I found you on social media like a while back, and I was following you, and you know how you like follow a lot of people, and then for some reason all your posts really started catching my eye. I love the way that you teach by just sharing your life, literally, and it, just because it makes it so relatable. You're like, oh God, my kids do that. Oh yeah, I get that. So it's different for me than, because I'm like a self-help reading guru, but it's so different to actually watch somebody just in action, right, and just sharing that. So I love that. And so guys, she recently published her first book, right? First, can you see this on the screen?
We can see it.
You have 4 minutes to change your life, okay? And it's a simple 4-minute meditation for inspiration, transformation, and true bliss. And I'll say one last thing is, the other thing I really loved about this is I thought, I don't know about all you guys, but for me, meditation sometimes seems like something I'd like to do, but it's above and beyond the reality of what I'm actually going to do. And this book made it so doable and approachable. And then all of the stories you weaved in made it so relatable. So thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here. I love there's so many people on and everyone's saying hello from all over. It's so cool.
Yes. Hi guys. Yes, I love that. So you all know, as you tune in, say hello. Let me know where you're watching from. And if you guys have any questions, throw them up, and if we can get to them, we definitely will, okay? So let's just start with, I'm curious, what inspired you to write the book? And I'll let you you answer these in whatever order you prefer. And what brought you to meditation? Like, what brought you so deeply into it?
Okay, I'm going to try to make a very long story short for the sake of Facebook Live.
Okay.
What brought me to meditation? I have been someone who has struggled, even suffered from anxiety and depression my entire life. I don't recall ever not having a sense of chaos inside me and around me forever. So at the very young age of 8, I started having these extreme panic episodes, extreme anxiety outbursts. And that was the first time that I had to, my family had to find medical treatment for me. And so from there, I'm hearing an echo. Are you hearing an echo?
I'm not hearing the echo. Are you guys hearing the echo?
I'm hearing a little bit of echo.
You think it's headset?
Not here. I don't have any sound coming out, but it doesn't matter. Okay. So I'll just go on. So, so I struggled with anxiety and more so anxiety. And I think the depression was really a symptom of not feeling like I was able to find relief from that. And that continued well into my teen years. And while I came from a religious background, that prayer was a cornerstone of our family practice. I really had no understanding of that I could heal myself. And my first glimpse of that was discovering Be Here Now at a used bookstore. And that's a spiritual classic by Ram Dass. And it, for the first time, showed me a way for me to look inside. So what happened was my prayer practice really became a meditation practice that I could go to. And my prayer practice was something I was in constant conversation with my higher power at all times. So this new meditation practice that I started was really a way for me to connect to myself at all times throughout the day, before big events, have conversations with myself before big decisions. And that continued. So that's been a daily practice for 24 years now, since I was 15. And what was the other question? How did my meditation practice
Well,
start?
yeah, I want to say one thing. I think I heard you say somewhere, which I thought was really like simplified it in my mind, which prayer to you was kind of putting your energy outward, where meditation was you directing it inward.
And that's exactly what it was. Prayer to me, I mean, for me, and this isn't the same for everyone, but
Right.
prayer for me was talking to someone or something else. And it was a way that I expressed my displeasure with things, or I would ask for a favor or a blessing or guidance from someone or something else. And meditation was a way for me to connect with my own intuition, my own God wisdom, if you will.
Yes.
And that was, life changing for me. It was revolutionary for me because up until that point, I didn't really have faith in myself to heal myself or to guide myself. So that began a journey, and it was bumpy, and it really didn't come into maturity until I was in my 30s. But that began a journey of introspection that changed the way I look at everything: the world, disease, healing, anxiety, depression, mental health issues, everything.
So I feel like that's so important, right? Because especially in the world we live in today, where everything is so externally directed, our attention, we're always looking outside for answers. And I know my whole world has kind of been through the lens of weight and body image. That was my thing. Yeah. And, but it's just like dieting, right? Like dieting is an invitation to look outside of yourself for an answer, yeah, rather than connecting to, oh, wow, we actually come with a system that tells us when we're hungry. I thought that's what the clock was for, right? So
exactly.
But it is, I think that's such an important practice for everybody, is learning to bring our energies back to ourselves and trusting that if we direct the questions inwards, we actually find answers. But why don't people teach this shizzle in school? I don't understand. Like, I feel like it should be kindergarten.
I think that there's a lot of different reasons. And I think that, just as society goes and power structure goes, and it's the reason for religion, really. It's to kind of take control away from the individual and say, this is the way. And that's why with my meditation practice, and I come from a fitness background and a nutrition background, but with my meditation practice, I never once say that this is the way.
Right.
I say that there are as many different ways to meditate correctly as there are people on this planet. And you need to find the way that works for you. I'll show you what's worked for me, and you can take from it what you will. And I was the same when I used to talk about health and nutrition, and I still talk about it with body confidence and how to eat and how to intuitively eat. It's that we know what we should and should not be eating. And we know when we're hungry or when we're thirsty. Like, we have these cues built into us, but right, we've disconnected from that.
Yes, we have to. And right. So that was my next question. So what is your definition of meditation? And by the way, Beth just said that she loves this. It's just what she needed to hear today.
Awesome.
Right in New York. So we're like neighbors. Okay.
Neighbors. So for me, meditation is simply, if you look at the literal definition of the word, it means to contemplate. To meditate means to contemplate. So for me, it's placing attention on a single idea, placing attention on the moment in order to find connection with yourself and maybe with all that is, because I do believe in the oneness of people and oneness of spirit. So it's a way for me to check myself before I wreck myself, just to constantly be in connection
yes,
with my truth.
So, okay. Oh, now I'm getting an echo. What the heck is that? Are you still having an echo?
I think it's BexLife. It's coming in and out, but okay, whatever.
Okay. So, so that is another point that I loved so much that you were said in your book, and it's very much the way I approach food with people, which is there is no one way, and as many different people there's as many different approaches, right? But when you hear it, like I heard you say, I think I watched another interview where you were saying sometimes meditation looks like me writing a to-do list. Sometimes meditation looks like me sitting in my car and getting my head straight before I walk into my house of 5 kids, right? And so I think that, can you speak to that just a little bit? Because I do think there's a stigma that meditation is supposed to look a certain way. And we're supposed to be like doing it perfectly. And it's supposed to take a really long time. And we're supposed to reach some level of bliss. But like how regular people on a regular day to day can work this in as a way to create and be with what is.
I would challenge people just for once to take the time to get quiet, to find a place where they can be undisturbed for just a few minutes and to close their eyes and focus their attention on their breath for maybe 4 minutes, like my method.
Right.
Do that just once and see what comes up for you. But that doesn't have to be what your meditation practice looks like. Like you said, sometimes my meditation practice looks like just writing a to-do list. If I feel like my head is just spinning out of control with thoughts, then I need to get those thoughts onto paper maybe. So I say to myself, my mantra is out of my head and onto paper, out of my head and onto paper. I release my worries to this paper, and then I just write my list, and then it's there to deal with later. A meditation can be a walk in nature. Meditation can be a run on a treadmill. Meditation can be cooking your favorite meal. It's whatever allows you to be in the moment and connect with something that feels good and peaceful and that allows you to distract yourself from thoughts that don't serve you. That's meditation.
Isn't that such a relief, my friends? Like it's such a relief to me. You're like, oh, I love that. And I love how so much of the book is about, to me, what it felt like, kind of like the underlying theme, the ongoing nugget was allowance and acceptance. Allowance and acceptance. And I feel like so often that is exactly the problem. I know, like, my struggle can be is that, I'm resisting something that is, and now I'm creating stress on top of stress on top of stress. And if you're somebody that likes to use food, then you use food as a way to relieve that, right? Instead of just allowing it, like, oh, what if it was just supposed to look exactly like this? Or what if this was just perfectly okay? I think sometimes we have ideas in our heads of the way it should be.
Yeah.
Go.
Well, I talk about that in my book when it comes to food. It's like, what if this is just a piece of cake that I want to eat to remind myself of my mother in this moment? My mother passed away, and she had, my mother passed away, and she used to make, she called it Jewish apple cake. And it was my favorite cake. And I used to eat like half a cake at a time when she would bring it over. And I try to eat well, and I try to be gluten-free and sugar-free and like all the things, because I have other stuff going on. So it doesn't really serve me to eat a lot of cake. But I was in a deli one day and I saw Jewish apple cake in the window. And I said, you know what? I thought about it. I meditated on it in that moment. And I said, how does this cake serve me? Really, how does it serve me in this moment? And in that moment, it served me very well. It made me feel warm. It made me feel connected to my mother. It tasted good. And it was just a piece of cake. So meditation also allows you to sort out what's real from what isn't, what is truth for you, and what is distraction. And, a lot of times we put a lot of meaning to things and that's coming from anxiety, and that's coming from the stories that we're telling ourselves. And it actually blocks us from feeling joy.
Yes, I could not agree more. One of the worksheets I do with clients that I work with is it's like fact versus thoughts. And you have to write out a story like, okay, so what do you believe about your body? What do you believe about your weight? And they write the whole thing out. And then we pull out the fact, and how the rest is literally just story that's ours to change or ours to rewrite, right? So I love that. Okay, so I won't keep you here all day, but I do want to read. So on chapter 5, guys, in the book, it's all about, it's 4 minutes to accept your body, but it also talks about body confidence and weight loss. And I got all my notes here. Hang on one second. There was one I love right at the beginning. You're like, I'll just read it from the book. And you said, basically, I'm gonna, what's it called?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. So basically, Bex talks about how, there's such a high standard of beauty, and we're always seeing these things all around us, and we have these ideas on how we're supposed to look. And now, there's all this messaging about how we should love our body. So, not only are we supposed to look perfect, but then if we don't look perfect, we're supposed to love our body anyway. And then you said, well, here's your ticket off the hamster wheel. I give you permission to hate your body, right? And I love that because it's so true, right? You don't, sometimes you think, well, I'm not supposed to feel that way, or I'm not supposed to think that, but in just allowing, again, theme of the book, in my opinion, and allowing to be with what is, now we have like space and permission to move through it.
Well, here's the thing.
Yes.
Like I said, we're supposed to love our bodies, but we're also supposed to look like this ideal, but we're also supposed to never say anything bad about our bodies, but then we feel the thing, but we're supposed to allow our feelings, but the feelings are bad, then you don't allow them. And then now all of a sudden you are in this hamster wheel of having anxiety about your anxiety. You're feeling bad about feeling bad. It's a self-perpetuating cycle that is really ridiculous. So my whole thing is I sort out the like and love. love, kind of like sometimes in relationships, where I love myself fully. I love myself. I love being me. I love my personality. I love who I am and what I stand for. I do not love my stretch marks. And I'm cool with that. I've had 5 children. They jacked up my body a little bit. It doesn't mean my body's broken. It doesn't mean it's broken. It just doesn't mean that it's exactly what I prefer in this moment. And maybe in some time in the future, I will become evolved enough to like just love every single part of me. But right now it's like, I'm good with not loving every piece of my body. And that's cool. And that allows me so much freedom, and it allows me to breathe, and it actually allows me to love life more.
Yes.
And that wasn't,
no, go ahead.
I just wanted to say it. And that's really what meditation does for me, because I think that people too think that meditation is a way to escape the chaos or to escape your life. And I have 5 children. I love the chaos that they bring my life. I love, having the barn animals and the business. And I love to be busy. I love to work. Meditation isn't a way for me to escape my life. It's a way for me to be more engaged in it.
I love that. And you said somewhere in the book maybe that you said that, just because I don't love it doesn't mean I can't accept it, right? Yeah. Like I can accept it. I mean, it's like Byron Katie always says, right? You can resist what is, but you'll be wrong. Wait, no, what does she say? Resisting what is. Oh, geez, Louise, how about losing a quote right when you need it? Basically, the idea is, you can resist reality all you want, but you're going to be wrong 100% of the time because it already is, right? But the difference between loving it and liking it and accepting it, right? Like I can accept all this and show up and take care of it. And that doesn't mean I have to love the way every little piece of it looks. It's still, I can still accept it and honor it, right? It's like, somebody else I once interviewed, she said, think about when you have like a newborn baby and it's like an ugly baby, which I don't feel that way about babies, but some people, ugly babies, or if you have a kid that has a habit that annoys you, right? Yeah. You may not like that aspect of them, but you still accept and love your child, right? You're not just like, well, screw you, you do this and I do it this way, so you're out of here. So, it is that separating, like you just said, of like, hey, the love and the like.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, I have such a funny Byron Katie story from the time I was in a green room with her on the Lisa Oz show. I won't tell it here, but because it was so embarrassing, but it's okay that you butchered her quote because I butchered a meeting with her. Like it was.
Oh my God.
So anyway.
I think it all the time, but I don't know. And I can't even remember it right now.
It's fine.
I'm gonna put it in the comments once I remember what it is exactly. But okay, go ahead.
Yeah, like if we can spend a lot of time worrying about whether or not we love a certain thing about ourselves or how we feel about it. And again, it's like I don't have a lot of time to do that. So accepting is just the easier solution. Like my stretch marks are there whether I like them or not. They just are.
Right, totally. And so is my cellulite. It's there, and so it's like. It's so true. And I think as somebody who's spent a lot of years in body shame and like really taking a long time to love my body, and I really do, I have arrived, and it's not because my body is perfect, how much energy it sucks from you. Like how much energy I didn't bring to the world because I was so busy wrapped up in this deep sense of like shame and loathing around the way I thought my body should look, and it didn't. So, So I know like, but I think what's great about the whole book and, the mantras and kind of the baby step is that, cause like when you're in it, right? But just being able to take small steps to begin to shift, right? And I think like the mantras are great for that because it's almost like there's thoughts in your mind, there's thoughts in your mind, there's thoughts in your mind, and they're going to run, right? But this is what I'm going to hold on to. To this day, I say to people all the time, if you knew the things that went through my head, you might not want to be my friend. But I don't say them out loud because that's not the person I am and that's not who I want to show up in the world. But we get thoughts from everywhere, right? Like every show, every relationship, everything we read, see, they sneak in there and then they run around. But that doesn't mean they are who we are.
Right. Exactly. Yes, absolutely. Anything that changes is not real. It's like the teaching of the Tao. It's that anything that can be changed, whether it's our bodies, it's our environment, it's our relationships, it's our thoughts, our opinions, all of those things are not real. The only thing that's real is our essence, is our truth.
I love that. All right. So thank you so much for being here. Is there anything that you want to add? I'm going to show this book. You guys, Bex has a YouTube channel. She also has BexLife.com, right? That's like the home of everything you do. But she's super fun to follow on social media because she basically just shares her whole entire life with what she's doing all the time, every day, which is awesome. So here's the book one more time. Okay. You have 4 minutes to change your life. I'll leave links and stuff down in the description, down in the comments below so you guys can find it easily. And then I'll go back there and look at comments and stuff. Is that cool?
That sounds cool. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so thank you so much for joining, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in with us, and I'll see you all soon, okay? Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Okay, end live broadcast. Am I going to lose you if I hit this?